welcome to Parks and Recreation Today. I'm Brown Simpson along with Inge Bivins. Today we want to focus in on the new registration process through the Fort Mill Parks and Recreation Department. Inge, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Inge, before we start and talk about the registration process, you've been with us now for 2 months.
Yes.
Tell everyone a little bit about Inge Bivins.
Well, I've been here, moved back to Fort Mill for just a couple of years now, and I'm married to David Bivins, and we have 4 beautiful children and 1 grandchild.
Well, we're so glad to have you a part of our team.
Thank you.
And you started a couple months ago, and on October 2nd, 2017, we started a new registration process with the Fort Mill Parks and Recreation Department to kind of make things easier for all of our customers. Talk to us a little bit about that process.
Well, we have a wonderful registration system that now that our families in the community of Fort Mill and surrounding communities can actually go online and register their children for all the different activities that we have going on through Parks and Recreation, whether it be soccer or basketball or baseball or even our summer camps.
So if somebody wants to register, what website do they access?
They will go to the fortmillsc.gov website. That's our town's website. And when they are able to pull that up, there'll be an icon on the right side of the screen that'll say Parks and Recreation, and they click on that, and it'll take to our Parks and Recreation page. And then they can if they scroll down, there's a link there that will take them to the actual registration site for them to register for either the sports or camps that we have available.
Okay. And with that registration process, Inge, do they have to set up their own account?
Yes, they do. What they would do is if you have a family, just say we have a family of 4 and there's a mother and father and 2 children, they would actually register each family member in there because there might be activities that the parents would like to participate in as well, like we have pickleball or basketball, things like that they might want to participate in. But they register their family and they have it set up. Once they have that account set up, then they can go online at any time our sports become available and actually register their family member for those particular sports.
Well, that's great. Besides sports, what else can people use that new online registration system for?
Oh, we have a lot of like the Spratt Building and the Harris Street Park, and in that park is a gazebo or different facilities that people can actually rent. Maybe let's say for a birthday party or for a wedding, they can actually go online now and register for that or reserve that space, and they can actually pay online to reserve that space.
Okay, well that's trying to make things more transparent for all of our customers and everybody that uses our system. So Inge, if anybody would need to contact us by phone, they can call which number? 803-547-2273. And someone within Parks and Recreation or myself will be glad to help them through that registration process to make them more acclimated to how that process is. Okay. If somebody does not want to, can register online, they would rather come in and register in person, we're still doing that also too.
We are. They can actually come to the Bank Street Gym off of Bank Street, and we'll be glad to register them there.
And of course our hours here at the Parks and Recreation Department are Monday through Friday?
8:30 to 5.
8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And we'll have someone available to answer if there are any questions that they may have or help them through the registration process.
We've also updated our webpage daily, our Parks and Recreation webpage daily. What else new have we brought on with that also too?
Well, we have our website, like you said. We try to update that every day depending on what information we have that needs to go out there. We have the weather hotline that people can call into, or they can go to our website and see if any activities might be canceled for that day, or if there's any changes to the schedule that day, it'll be posted on there. But also too, it gives them an avenue for checking to see what do we have going on. Whether it's our registrations are coming up, it's a reminder that we might be having that, or like we just did a little food drive for the town. Just any information that we might have that might pertain to Parks and Rec, we try to update that. So, and the other thing is we have Facebook. So we try to stay in contact with the people of Fort Mill and the surrounding areas, that they can always go to our fan page for Facebook, and it's the Fort Mill Parks and Recreation fan page, and there's a link to that on the website, the town website, so that they can follow us and follow our activities.
So the main thing we're trying to do now is really get our message out with what we do in the Parks and Recreation Department through Facebook, and also through our web page.
Absolutely. We just want to be able to have that contact with our families. And it's all about partnership, and we talked about that even on our website, about we want to be a partner with those families so that it'll be a successful program for not only us but for them.
One of the things I think is one of our strong points is our business sponsor program. If we have some businesses that are interested in sponsoring, we have a couple different levels, $350 for the season or $1,000 for the year, and you're able to put your business name on the back of jerseys or on the front of jerseys, uniforms throughout the year with the different sports that we have. I think we've got around 4,500 to 5,000 kids that participate annually in our youth sports program. So if anybody has questions about that, they can contact you on that also too.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to hear from them, and we'll be glad to meet with them and decide what level of sponsorship they want. And if you can look around here, we have some of the businesses that have sponsored us, and it's a good way to get your business out there.
And we're very appreciative of those businesses in the Fort Mill and surrounding areas that do take time to help us with the cost of youth sports.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Inge, thank you. We appreciate what you do on a daily basis, and we look forward to you being with us for a long time.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you.
We'll be back with the next segment right after this.
The past is definitely coming to life at the Fort Mill History Museum, and we invite you to become a part of it. Come and experience our many exhibits and beautiful works of art by talented local artists in the museum's education gallery. Take a trip back in time and experience the rich history of Fort Mill at the Fort Mill History Museum at 107 Claiborne Street. For more information, call 803-802-3646 or go online at info@fmhm.org.
Welcome back to Parks and Recreation Today. I'm Brown Simpson. With us now is Kevin Reynolds, Athletic Coordinator for the Town of Fort Mill Parks and Recreation Department. Kevin, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Kevin, for those at home, tell everyone about Kevin Reynolds.
Well, I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. I moved down to Charleston in 2000 with my family and went to Winthrop for undergrad and grad school, and I've been here for 10 months, and yeah, it's going pretty good.
Well, good. Tell everybody at home a little bit what responsibilities you have now with the Fort Mill Parks and Recreation Department.
So I manage the youth soccer program as my primary responsibility during the spring and the fall seasons. During the summer, I run the church softball program that we host. It's our only sport over the summer, but it's a large one in the area, so it requires one dedicated person. And then in the winter seasons for basketball, I run the girls, the two girls groups, and the instructional group. And something we just tried this fall was our first adult volleyball program, and I'm also responsible for that.
Let's talk a little bit about the adult volleyball program. Good success to start off with, first time we'd ever done it.
Yeah, we had 5 teams, which was pretty solid for first season. And we run it right here in our Banks gym, and it was 4-on-4. It's fairly competitive for a first season. It was really fun. I love the sport of volleyball, and I know there has been a want for some adult leagues in this area, so it was pretty awesome to provide it, and hopefully we can continue to grow it going forward.
And you had a background in volleyball when you came here.
Yeah, I personally play it rather frequently, and I also worked part-time and full-time for a private company in Charlotte that does some volleyball leagues. So I was very familiar with it as far as running it, so I was good to bring that experience down here and start it up.
Kevin, you've been with the department now for 10 months. What has amazed you about what we do in the first 10 months that you've been here?
I think the sheer size is pretty amazing for Fort Mill as far as the athletics goes. I've been in Rock Hill, I said I went to school at Winthrop, so I knew Fort Mill was here. I didn't know the span of Fort Mill and how many families were in the rec department. So seeing that has been pretty awesome, and definitely working with that community is a joy for me, and working with the parents and as well as the kids, because for our soccer and our basketball I am over instructional, so that's 2 years old can be sometimes the youngest that we have, all the way up to a 15-year-old. So just working with kids of all ages is, a pretty good experience for me. I really enjoy it.
Kevin, with your first 10 months here, what do you think is the biggest challenges we have as a department right now?
Growing too fast. I think that's probably our biggest problem, I guess you can call it, is we're expanding, and we're expanding at a rapid rate, and I think it's good, but it's also a double-edged sword, because we're needing more space, and facilities, and we're working to get those, but you can only put up so much so quickly, and then there's the whole budget behind it. So I think that's probably the biggest challenge, is keeping all of that within our parameters. But I'm happy to have that challenge, because that means more kids are getting involved and staying active.
Kevin, we depend a lot upon volunteers, and you work closely with our volunteer adults. They do a great job for us.
Absolutely. We wouldn't even have a program if it weren't for our volunteers. Every one of our coaches, we have over 30 soccer coaches that are all volunteer, and we wouldn't have a soccer program if it weren't for them. And I hope they understand that. I tell them that as often as I can, but it's pretty awesome to see what people do for free just for the kids. It's a definite motivation to see that and to work with them, because they're not doing it for money. So, they're doing it for the right reason, and that's awesome.
Kevin, probably our mission statement is creating community through people, parks, and programs, and you're a big part of the program side, and it's very important that we continue to extend and live out that mission statement as a department.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. I think I've definitely expanded on my previous experience with that, because like I said, I worked for a private company. There wasn't too much involvement with community. It was more so just the participants back and forth. But now it's definitely much more community. I've met countless people. Hopefully I can, continue meeting more people and continue building those relationships and everything, and hopefully keep them around for our departments.
I guess one final thing Kevin and I have found out since you've been a part of this team is you are an avid Buffalo Bill fan.
Go Bills.
So we appreciate you being a part of our team, and thank you for what you've done so far, and look forward to what you're going to do in the future.
Thank you, Brian. I'm looking forward to a long future.
Well, thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this with our next guest.
Speaking out against cruelty is not an option for animals. Join the ASPCA and be their voice.
Welcome back to Parks and Recreation Today. Joining us now is Jason Ratterree, Athletic Superintendent for the Town of Fort Mill Parks and Recreation Department. Jason, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Jason, for the folks at home that are watching this, tell everyone a little bit about you and how long you've been here in our department.
I've been with the Fort Mill Parks and Recreation Department now just under 7 years. Graduated from Winthrop and was fortunate enough to internship here, and then was very fortunate enough to get a job out of college. So it's been a great experience for me. I've learned a lot. It's great working with people in this community.
Jason, you said you've learned a lot. What do you think you've learned the most being a part of this department?
Just working with people, parents and kids. One of the most rewarding things about this job is to see the kids that have grown up from 5 years old now playing 12 and 13-year-old sports. It's just very rewarding to see the community grow as a whole. It's grown a lot in the last 7 years.
It definitely has, and it's going to continue to grow also too. Absolutely. Jason, we offer a lot of different sports and a lot of different times throughout the year. Right now, currently, we're in winter basketball, and that's the main sport that we offer here through our Parks and Recreation Park youth sports. Let's talk a little bit about our fall sports, what we do in the summer, and then we're going to talk a little bit about our upcoming registration for our spring sports. Let's revert back to fall now.
Our fall is quite a large, all of our seasons are quite large, but fall we offer many different things, tackle football, flag football, baseball for ages 3 to 12, soccer for ages 3 to 15. The tackle football, we begin at 8 years old, go all the way up to 12 years old. Flag football, we begin at 5 years old. Softball, we offer girls softball. That goes ages 7 to 12. So falls are quite the large.
And soccer?
And soccer as well, yeah, soccer ages 3 to 15. We start at 3 years old for some of our sports, baseball and soccer especially. Find the kids really enjoy, the parents really want the kids to get out there and start at an early age. So we start at 3 years old for some of that stuff, and it's a good time to start. We go as far as we can with some of these kids. They really enjoy playing youth recreation sports.
Summer, what do we offer then?
In the summer we do a lot of sports camps. We also offer adult church softball that is quite large. We had 42 teams this past summer, all playing in the
and that was for men's and women? Men's
and women's combined. We do separate gender leagues. We had 12 women's teams and 30 men's teams.
Wow.
So it was quite the large undertaking, but we want to keep growing that as much as possible, and I think a lot of the churches around the city and area. We have churches from Indian Land, York, Rock Hill, even Pineville that come down and play this.
They play here in Fort Mill.
Absolutely.
With our Fort Mill teams.
Absolutely. But going back to the youth sports camps, we offer many sports camps, baseball, basketball, soccer. We've offered volleyball camp. We also have a few other camps, junior police camp, kids on the ball.
Yep.
And our tennis program's growing exponentially. Tennis, Billy McKinley with the tennis camp's been doing a phenomenal job, and tennis camps are growing as well.
And Billy not only does the tennis camps during the summer, he also offers lessons starting from March until the end of, I think, November.
Right, correct, yeah, and that's just, Billy's a busy guy, so he stays quite busy, but he's doing a great job over there and just growing the tennis program along with all the other stuff we're growing.
So we're getting ready to start our spring sports registrations, and actually once this is aired, they have actually started on December the 11th, and they'll run through when?
February 9th.
February the 9th. So tell everybody a little bit about what we're going to be offering this spring.
Many sports this spring. Spring's one of our busiest times of the year. A lot of what we're offering in the fall, we're offering again with the spring. Baseball, ages 3 to 12, softball, ages 7 to 12, flag football. We also have soccer, ages 3 to 15, indoor volleyball, and we also offer spring basketball as well for ages 9 to 15 years old.
And right now we're serving how many kids throughout the year?
We currently serve 4,500 on average for yearly participants.
Wow, that's a lot. And for you three guys to be working in this program, y'all have a lot of work on your hands.
Our community is growing exponentially, so we're enjoying it.
I think one of the biggest things, Jason, is our winter basketball program. Right now we've got, I think, around 925 kids registered for basketball, and that's ages 3 to 18 years of age, correct?
Correct, yes.
And then we play at many different sites throughout Saturdays throughout the year. Right now I think it's about 6.
Yes.
Tell everybody a little bit about the partnerships we got. We're able to use some of the facilities around Fort Mill.
We have a great working relationship with the Fort Mill School District. They're gracious enough to work with us in using some of their basketball facilities. Just with the way Fort Mill's grown, each weekend we have over 50 basketball games.
50 basketball games?
Wow. Over Friday and Saturday. So we use a lot of different sites, pretty much using them sites all day. So we have a great working relationship with the Fort Mill School District. Using their gyms and trying to use a lot of different areas around Fort Mill as well. So I think it gives the community a lot of recognition as well, and also the school district.
Wow, that's amazing, amazing. What do you see as the challenges ahead for our department?
We're still growing. I think it's important that we kind of grow with the community. That's one thing we've done well over the last few years is expand our staff, hopefully expanding more facilities and getting more areas where these kids can play. We don't ever want to turn away kids. We always welcome everyone. So the more facilities and staff we get, the bigger this program gets and keeps taking off.
Quality of life is important to citizens. We try to offer quality programs here with our youth sports.
Absolutely. I think that's one of our big things. Our staff likes to go to these recreational games, be out in the public. We like to speak with the parents, get feedback from them on what what they like, what they may want to see in the future. So it's just great, great overall community experience.
We have on our web page, we really press a couple of things with our youth sports. Go over those with us if you would real quick.
A couple of things that we really like to push. We have a parents code of conduct that we think is very important for every parent to kind of go over and acknowledge. Also, we have a saying on our website just about being a kid and how, you know, these kids, it's just important that they play these youth sports. You know, they're not getting college scholarships at these games, you know, they're not being seen by scouts. So it's very important that, you know, kind of let the kids be kids and have fun when they're doing it. It's about recreational sports.
Well, Jason, you do a great job, and we appreciate everything you do for us and all the hard work that you and Kevin and Justin, who handle all of our athletic programs, do on a daily basis.
Thank you. We're glad to do it.
Thank you. That's going to conclude this segment of Parks and Recreation Today. I'm Brown Simpson saying thanks for watching and have a great day.